So when we say arithmetic sequence, um, the first thing you need to find here is the common difference. Okay, so just like here in 3579, you notice that the common difference is 2. That when 2 is added to 5, to 3 gives you 5, and when 2 is added to 5 gives you 7, and so on. Okay, so the formula in finding for the common difference is that you just need to subtract, no, the preceding to the succeeding. Okay, so halimbawa, subtract fourth term sa fifth term. So fifth term minus fourth term. So makukuha mo ang common difference. So let's try. Let's get the common difference of 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it is as easy as 3 minus 2 gives you 1. Okay, so the common difference is 1. And if you're asked to provide the fifth term, then just add 1 to 4, which is the fourth term. So 5 is the fifth term. On letter B, the common difference is 2. Simply 5 minus 3 is 2. And so when you're asked to give the fifth term, then add 2 to the fourth term. 9 plus 2 is 11. And the common difference for C is negative 1.5, because 8.5 minus 10 is negative 1.5. Okay, so if the fourth term is 5.5, add negative 1.5, then the fifth term is 4. Take note that the common difference may not necessarily be positive. Now, what if we're going to find the nth term formula? So the formula in getting the nth term is the first term plus n minus 1 times the common difference t, where a sub 1 is the first term, n is the number of terms, t is the common difference, and a sub n is the nth term. Okay, a sub n is the nth term. So let's try number 1. If the first and 10th term of arithmetic sequence is 3 and 48 respectively, then the fifth term of the sequence is now, okay, first we need to find the common difference. Now to get the common difference, then we make use of the given, the first and the 10th term. So by having an equation for the 10th term, then that is 48 plus the first term is 3 plus 9d. Okay, simplify, combine like terms, so the common difference is 5. After getting the common difference, we can now move to the fifth term, no? And since n is 15, so 15 minus 1 gives us 14, common difference of 5. So 14 times 5 plus 3 is 73. Second, the second term is 11 and the fifth term is 32. Determine the first term. So in this case, since the second term is 11 and the fifth term is 32, we might as well consider the second term as the first term meantime. Okay, and the fifth term as the fourth term meantime. So how to do that? The fourth term now is equal to the first term plus 4 minus 1 times the common difference d. And we assume the fourth term be 32 and 11 be the first term. So we can find for d. D therefore is 7. Okay, now to get the first term, just simply subtract 7 to the second term, go back to the second term, which is 11. So 11 minus 7 gives us 4. So to check that out, 4 added 4 plus 7 is 11. Okay, so we have the first term 4, the second term is 11. What about if we're going to get the arithmetic mean? And let's define mean. Mean is a term or any terms between any two designated terms. Well, it means to say, hindi lang iisa, no? Posibleng uh, two or more pa. Okay? So itong formula in getting for the arithmetic mean. But this formula is only true, okay, if we're just getting as one, no? Only one mean. Okay? So in general, this is the formula. X and y are the two ends, and get the average. Well, accordingly, sometimes we're given several terms of a sequence which are not successive terms of that sequence. The terms between any two successive terms of an arithmetic sequence are called arithmetic means. So ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na posibleng tatlo o higit pa, two or more, no, ang isosolve natin. Okay, so let's have this example. 4, 9, 14, 19, blank, and 29. Okay, we can find for the common difference immediately, 9 minus 4, or just select two terms, 19 minus 14 is 5. Then add 5 to 19, then the 24, therefore, is the missing term, which is the arithmetic mean. Also, if we get 19 and 29, we divide it by 2, we get 24. In number 2, as you can see, tatlo ang nawawala. Now, to solve for these three arithmetic means, we can make use of the first term. This is the first term, and 25 is the fifth term, just to get the common difference 2. And we got 2 by substitution. We let a sub 1 be equal to 17. And since n is 5, 5 minus 1 gives us 4. And the fifth term is 25. So 25 minus 17 divided by 4 gives us 2. And to follow the sequence now, 17 plus 2 is 19. Okay, 19 plus 2 is 21. And 21 plus 2 is 23. Okay, so these are the arithmetic means. Now, what about if we're interested to get the series? Series means getting the sum of all the terms, no? So, meron tayong tinatawag na finite and infinite. For now, we talk about finite arithmetic means or series. Okay, so we have here the formula for the first form kasi meron tayong pangalawang form. N being the number of terms, A sub 1, the first term, okay, N, and B is a common difference. So S sub n, where n is the number of terms, is equal to n divided by 2 times 2a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times t. If we're going to replace a sub 1 plus n minus t, with a sub n, then ito daw ang makukuha nating formula. A sub 1 plus a sub n. Okay. Now, we let the let's apply this. Find the sum of the first 20 terms of an arithmetic sequence with 5 and 119 as the first and the 20th term. So we have here first term is 5, 20th term is 119, so n is 20. By substitution, we need to find for the common difference meantime. So the common difference is a sub 20 minus a sub 1 over n minus 1. Okay? And nanggaling lang yan sa a sub 20 is equal to a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. So nilipat natin si a sub 1, naging a sub 20 minus a sub 1, then divided by n minus 1. So the common difference is 6. And then we substitute that to the first form. We let d be 6, a sub 1 is 5, and is 20. Okay, so 20 divided by 2 is 10, 2 times 5 is 10, plus 19 times 6 is 114, this is 19. So 10 times 124 gives us 1,240, the sum of the terms from first to 20th terms. Now, using the second form, okay, we don't need to determine the common difference. So, ang ginagawa lang natin dito is find the first term, find the last term you're referring. So, the first term is 5, and the last term, or the 20th term, is 119. Hence, we have 10 times 124. Then we can get the same, 1,240. Okay, so you notice here a bit faster yung second, no? Why? Because you already have the first term and then the last term. Second, determine the sum of the first 100 terms of the arithmetic sequence. If the first term is 1, the second term is 4, first 100. Okay, so we just have the first and the second. Now to determine the common difference, simply we subtract the first term from the second term. We got 3. So the 100 term is simply a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d, and that is 100 minus 1, 99 times 3 plus 1, then the 100th term is 298. Okay, now we substitute that on the first term or the first formula. So we have, well, you can have the first formula or the second formula. So in this case, we make use of the second formula. The first term is 1, and that 100th term is 298. And so the sum of the first 100 terms is 14,940. Okay. Now, in arithmetic sequence, you just need to determine the common difference. But if we're going to make use of multiplication, then there is what we call geometric sequence. If you observe the terms 1, 3, 9, 27, and 36, you notice that the, the next term is solved by multiplying 3 to the preceding term. Okay, that is 1 times 3 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9, and so on. Now, in this case, we have what we call geometric sequence. So in the geometric sequence, there is what we call common ratio. Okay, there is a common ratio here such that a sub n divided by a sub n minus 1 should be r, or the common ratio. Okay, so 3 divided by 1 is 3, 9 divided by 3 is 3, 27 divided by 9 is 3. Okay, and so when you're going to get the preceding term, then we have this, or the succeeding term, then simply multiply common ratio to the preceding term. Now, for example, determine the next terms of the geometric sequence 2, 4, 12, 24, and we notice 4 divided by 2 is 2, the 12 divided by 4 is also 2, so the common ratio really is 2. So multiply 2 to the fourth term, so we have 48 as the fifth term. Number 2, negative 1, 3, negative 9, 27. If we divide 27 by negative 9, we got positive 3. If we divide negative 3 by 3, we got negative 3, I mean. And 3 divided by negative 1 is also negative 3. So in that case, we have common ratio that is negative 3. Multiply negative 3 to the fourth term, so we have negative 81. Multiply again negative 3 to negative 81, we got 243. Okay, so we notice here alternating signs. Okay. Now, what if we are interested to determine the general term of a geometric sequence? So we have here the formula. A sub n is equal to a sub 1, the first term, multiplied to the common ratio raised to n minus 1, where n again is the number of terms, r is the common ratio, and a sub n is the nth term. Okay? In number 1, we're going to find the fifth term of the geometric sequence, 1/3, 1 over 9, and so on. So we notice here that the common ratio is the quotient of 1 over 9 and 1 over 3, which is 1/3. And so, since the first term is 1/3, multiply the first term 1/3 to the common ratio raised to, we're looking for the fifth term, so 5 minus 1 that must be raised to 4. Okay, with the rule of exponents, same base, add the exponents. So we have 1/3 raised to 5. Then the fifth term is 1 over 243. Second, determine the 10th term of the geometric sequence with first term 5 and a common ratio of 1/2. Okay, so the 10th term is the product of the first term 5 and the common ratio 1/2 raised to 10 minus 1 gives us 9. So the answer is 5 over 512. Remember, you're not going to approximate the answer, just enter answer in fraction, and that is the exact. Okay, so what about if we're going to get the geometric means? Okay, and that is similar to the arithmetic means. However, meron siyang ibang paraan. Okay, so for example, if we have A, B, and C as the three consecutive terms in a geometric sequence, then the common ratio is equal to B over A and is also equal to C over B. So R is equal to B over A equals C over B. So B being the second or the middle term is equal to the square root of AC. Hence, B is called the geometric mean of A and C. Well, in general, we have square root of XY. So for example, insert one positive geometric mean between 4 and 16. 4 times 16, then get the square root, we have 8. Okay? Hence, we have the sequence 4, 8, and 18. Insert three geometric means between 7 and 224. So the geometric sequence is 7, 3 blanks, and 112, with the first term 7 and the fifth term 112. So the common ratio is, get the common ratio, substitute a sub 5 is equal to a sub 1 times r raised to 5 raised to 4. Yung 4 na yan ay nanggaling sa 5 minus 1 because we have the fifth term. So r raised to 4 is 112 divided by 7. R therefore is positive or negative 2. So dalawang posibilidad na maging common ratio natin. So if we use positive 2, then we have 7 times 2, 14, times 2, 28, times 56. Okay, is 112. If we use negative 2, we have 7 times negative 2 is negative 14, times negative 2 is 28, times negative 2 is negative 56, and 112. Now, there is what we call geometric series also, which is getting the sum of the geometric sequence. Okay, that is finite. So in this case, we have the formula, the first form, first term minus a sub 1, which is also the first term, r raised to n divided by 1 minus r. Okay, where a sub 1 is the first term and n is the number of terms and r is the common ratio. And s sub n is the sum of the first n terms. If we substitute, we let a sub n be a sub 1 r raised to n minus 1. Okay, and or r a sub n is equal to a sub 1 r raised to n, then the sum of the formula can be written as a sub 1 minus r a sub n. Okay, so let's try. Find the sum of the first 15 terms of the geometric sequence if the first term is 3 and the common ratio is 2. So by substitution, the first term is 3. So we have here a sub 1 is 3, r is 2, and the fifth term, so r raised to n. So we have 15. And then 1 minus r, where r is 2, 1 minus 2. So the sum of the first 15 terms is 98,301. Alternative solution to that, using the second form, we need first to identify the fifth term. So the fifth term is solved using a sub 1 times r raised to 14. And again, 14 ay nanggaling sa r raised to n minus 1, where n is 15. So 15 minus 1 is 40. The first term is 3. So multiply that to 2 raised to 14. Then the fifth term is 49,152. Use the second form. So a sub 1 is 3 minus 2 times 2 is the common ratio times the 15th term, 49,152, divided by 1 minus 2. then we still get the same 98,301. Second, determine the geometric series if the first and sixth term are -4 and -972 respectively. Okay, use the formula, solve for r. So a sub 6 is equal to a sub 1 times r raised to 5. -972 is equal to -4 times r raised to 5. So getting the fifth term of the quotient of 972 and 4 gives us the common ratio 4. Substituting the common ratio 3, I mean 3, and the last term, sixth term is -972, and the first term is -4 using the second form. So ang makukuha natin by substitution, a sub 1 is -4, ratio is 3, a sub n is -972. So we have a sum of the first six terms, -1,456. Now, this is to remind you that the sum may not necessarily be positive, but can also be negative. Why? Because the series, the terms in the series can also be negative. So if we're going to list down all the elements or all the terms, then we notice that we can end up into -4,000, -1,456. As is specified here listed, we add them all and we have -1,456. Now that is the finite. So when we say finite series, we know where to end. However, there is what we call infinite geometric series. So meaning to say, we don't know where to stop, but we can only identify the number, the common ratio. So let us consider the first term as 3, the common ratio as 1/3, and what happens to the sum as S sub n as n increases. Now the formula is S infinity, or the infinite geometric series, is equal to the first term divided by 1 minus r, provided that ratio is between -1 and 1. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kapag nagkataon daw na ang common ratio ay mas malaki sa 1, then there is no sum. So, I hope that is clear. Okay? So, ang focus natin dito, the common ratio should be less than 1, should be greater than -1, but not greater than or equal to 1. So, between -1 and 1. So, for example, we're going to find the infinite geometric series of this. We notice that there is ellipsis suggesting infinite. We divide the second term to the first term, or the third term divided by the second term, still gives us 1/3. And since ratio is between -1 and 1, then we can get the infinite geometric series by substituting the first term 1/3 divided by 1 minus the common ratio 1/3 gives us 1/3 divided by 2/3. The answer is 1/2. Second, find the sum of the geometric sequence 1, 5, 25, 125, and so on. The common ratio here is 5. Then, since 5 is greater than 1, there is no sum. Ang ibig sabihin nito, hindi natin alam kung ano yung total. Bakit? Kasi the numbers are obviously increasing and you cannot stop it. So it means to say, we can just say that there's no sum, or there is infinite sum, or infinitely many. And since infinity is not a number, we can just say there's no sum. Okay? Next, we have the harmonic sequence. Harmonic sequence is the reciprocal, okay, of the arithmetic sequence. So, ibig sabihin, kapag sinusolve mo yung terms sa harmonic sequence, babaliktarin mo lang yung terms ng arithmetic sequence. So, for example, we're going to find the fifth term, the harmonic sequence, 1/2, 1/5, and 1/3, 1/8. Then, kapag getting the reciprocal of these terms, we will get 2, 5, 8. These 2, 5, 8 are the arithmetic sequence. So the first term is 3, and the common difference is 3. How? 5 minus 2 is 3, 8 minus 5 is 3. So the fifth term of the arithmetic sequence is given by a sub 5 is equal to the first term 2 plus n is 5, 5 minus 1, 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2 is 14. So the fifth term is 14. I-reciprocal mo lang ang 14. So yan na yung fifth term of the harmonic sequence. Number 2, find the 10th term of the harmonic sequence whose third term is 2 and the 8th term is 2/3. So get the reciprocal of 2 and 2/3, which are 1/2 and 3/2 respectively. We let 1/2 be the first term and the sixth term is 3/2. Paano yun nangyari? From the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ito yung third term, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Kung ginawa mong first term meantime ang third term, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the reason why meantime we let the eighth term be the sixth term. Okay, just for us to get the common difference. So the sixth term is equal to a sub 1 plus 6 minus 1 times the common difference. So the sixth term is 3/2. The first term is 1/2. 6 minus 1 is 5 times t. Hence, the common difference is 1/5. Now, we need to transform that, no? So, we're now ready to get the 10th term. So, bakit ito ang ginamit natin, no? A sub 10 is equal to a sub 8 plus 2d because we know that from the 8th term na 3/2, dalawa na lang ang kailangan nating mag-move, no? Para makuha natin ang 10th term. Okay, so ang ibig sabihin nito, the 10th term for the arithmetic sequence is 19/10. Okay, mula sa 3/2, mag-add tayo ng 1/5. This will be the 9th term. So this becomes 10 common difference. The common denominator. This is 15. 8 times 3 times 5 is 15 plus 2. 2 times 1 is 2. So we have 17/10. So the 10th term now is 17/10 plus 1/5. Common denominator still is 10. So this is 17. 10 divided by 2 is 2 times 1 is 2. So we got 19/10. Okay, so if that is faster for you, then does not necessarily mean, class, that you're going to make use of the first term. Since the 10th term is just very close to the 8th term, then pwede ka na lang mag-add twice ng 1/5 sa bawat total. Okay? So, well, pakatandaan, ginamit mo lang arithmetic sequence, pero you're going to take the reciprocal of 19/10 kasi ang tinatanong sa'yo ay harmonic sequence. So the answer must be 10/19. Okay, meron din tayong tinatawag na harmonic means. Ang harmonic mean between two numbers a and b is 2ab/a plus b. Okay, the harmonic mean is the quotient of twice their product and their sum. So let's try number 1. Determine the harmonic mean between 1/2 and 1/8. So the harmonic sequence 1/2, 1/8. Okay, by substitution, we can have 2, 1/2 is A, 1/8 is B, and 1/2 plus 1/8 gives us 5/8. 2 and 1/2 is simply 1, so 1/8 na lang to. Hence, 1/5 will be the the harmonic mean. If you're not satisfied, pwede mong kunin ang 2 and 8 as the arithmetic terms, no? After that, use the rule for arithmetic mean. Add the two terms. 2 plus 8 divided by 2 is 10/2, which is 5. Now get the reciprocal of 5, so we will have 1/5. So it's still the same. Determine the two harmonic means between 1/5 and 1/11. So the corresponding arithmetic sequence are 5, blank, blank, and then 11. The common difference is, well, the fourth term is equal to the first term plus 3d. 11 minus 5 divided by 3. Common difference is 2. So the arithmetic sequence will now be add 2 to every term. So 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 2 is 9, plus 2 is 11. So baliktarin mo lang yung 7 and 9. Magkakaroon ka ng 1 over 7 and 1 over 9. So nakuha mo na yung harmonic mean, no? O pakatandaan lang sa harmonic mean, pwede mong gamitin ang rule of arithmetic mean provided na kunin mong reciprocal. Okay? Pero kung ayaw mong gamitin ng reciprocal, ay gamitin mo na rin itong 2ab over a plus b. Take note, dito, ang condition dito, naka-harmonic series sequence na ang dalawang terms. These terms, A and B, are already harmonic terms.